Welcome to Wordiphile. In this episode, we explore painted words, words for colors whose origins reveal worms and wars, distant mountains and royal scandals, the very texture of how we came to see the world. Word 1, Vermilion, from the Latin vermiculus, a diminutive of vermis meaning worm. The Romans called the tiny Kermes insects vermiculi, or little worms, because the dried egg sacs used to make brilliant red dye resembled grains of sand or wheat. Medieval dyers called the dyestuff grain, and textiles dyed with it were said to be dyed in the grain, a phrase we still use today for anything deeply ingrained. The most vivid red pigment in the painter's palette carries the name of a creature most would rather forget. It means a brilliant red or scarlet pigment, the vivid reddish-orange color of this pigment. The artist mixed vermilion with white to capture the exact flush of sunset on the distant hills. Use vermilion for reds that demand attention, the intense scarlet of lacquer, flames, or passion. It carries more weight than simply saying red, invoking centuries of art and alchemy. Word 2. Ultramarine, from the medieval Latin ultramarinus, meaning beyond the sea. This deep blue pigment was ground from lapis lazuli, a stone mined almost exclusively in the mountains of Afghanistan. Donkeys and camels carried nuggets along the Silk Road to Syria, then ships bore them to Venice, the gateway to European art. The pigment cost more than gold by weight, reserved for painting the robes of the Virgin Mary. Before synthetic chemistry invented a substitute in 1826, every stroke of ultramarine blue represented a journey of thousands of miles. It means a brilliant deep blue pigment originally made from lapis lazuli. A vivid blue color Renaissance patron specified in contracts how much ultramarine a painter could use, treating the pigment as precious as the commission itself. Use ultramarine for blues of exceptional depth and intensity, especially when you wish to evoke luxury, distance, or something holy. The word itself carries the romance of long voyages. Word 3. Auburn, from the medieval Latin alburnus meaning off-white, derived from albus meaning white, the same root that gives us albino and albumen. In Middle English, auburn described hair that was pale, flaxen, even yellowish white. Then something strange happened. The word spelling drifted toward brun, the Middle English word for brown, and its meaning followed. By the 16th century, white had become reddish-brown. Auburn is one of the few color words in English that has completely reversed its meaning. It means a reddish-brown color, especially of hair. Her auburn hair caught the firelight, revealing strands of copper and chestnut she had inherited from her grandmother. Use auburn for the warm reddish-brown of autumn leaves and certain hair colors. The word sounds sophisticated and carries a quiet irony for those who know it once meant the opposite. Word 4. Puce, from the French puce, meaning flea. Legend holds that in 1775, King Louis XVI noticed Marie Antoinette wearing a gown in an unflattering brownish purplice and dismissively called it couleur de puce, flea-colored. Rather than shame the queen, the remark sparked a fashion craze. The French court began wearing endless variations of puce, distinguishing between old flea, young flea, flea's head, flea's belly, and flea's thigh. A royal insult became the height of elegance, and the color of a parasite entered the lexicon of fashion. It means a dark red or purple-brown color. The Victorian parlor was decorated in heavy puce velvet, a color that seemed to absorb rather than reflect the gaslight. Use puce when you need a word for those difficult brownish purples that resist easy naming. The word carries a whiff of decadence and the absurdity of fashion. Word 5. Crimson, from the Arabic kermes, which traces back through Persian to the Sanskrit kermija, a compound meaning produced by a worm. The worm in question was actually the kermes insect, harvested from Mediterranean oak trees since ancient times. The dried bodies of female insects yielded a dye so prized that ancient provinces in Spain paid their annual tribute to Rome and Kermes. The word traveled from Sanskrit through Persian and Arabic to medieval Latin cremesinus before reaching English, carrying the secret of its insect origin in every syllable. It means a rich, deep red color inclining to purple-crimson banners hung from the castle walls, proclaiming the victory that had cost so much blood to win. Use crimson for reds that carry weight and history, the color of royal robes spilled blood and autumn maples. It suggests depth that simple red cannot. Word 6. Chartreuse. From the Chartreuse Mountains in the French Alps, whose name may trace to a Celtic tribe called the Catteriges, meaning kings of combat. In 1084, Bruno of Cologne founded a monastery in these mountains called La Grande Chartreuse. The Carthusian monks there developed a secret liqueur formula around 1605, blending 130 herbs into a distinctive yellow-green elixir. When the drink became fashionable in the 19th century, its peculiar color demanded a name. A Celtic battle cry became a monastic retreat, became a liqueur, became a color that exists nowhere else in nature. It means a pale yellow-green color, resembling the liqueur of that name. She wore a chartreuse silk scarf that somehow managed to clash with and complement everything simultaneously. Use chartreuse for that specific yellow-green that refuses to be ignored. The word signals sophistication and slight eccentricity, a color choice that requires confidence. Word 7. Indigo. From the Greek indikon, meaning the Indian substance, which passed through Latin indicum before reaching English. The dye came from the indigofera plant, cultivated in the Indus Valley for over 5,000 years. To the Greeks and Romans, India was the source of marvels, and this blue dye was simply the Indian thing. The name preserves an era when a single country could name a color, when trade routes stretched imagination as far as they carried goods. Newton placed indigo in his spectrum of 7 colors, giving India a permanent place in the rainbow. It means a deep blue color between blue and violet in the spectrum. The dye obtained from certain plants. The indigo-dyed cloth had been washed 100 times, each washing softening it while deepening the character of its blue. Use indigo for blues that lean toward violet, especially those associated with traditional dyeing, denim, or the night sky. The word evokes craft, patience, and ancient trade. Word 8. Khaki. From the Hindustani khaki, meaning dust-colored, derived from the Persian khak, meaning dust or earth. When the British Indian Army's Corps of Guides adopted the color in 1846, they were solving a practical problem. White uniforms made easy targets on the dusty plains. The word entered English as both color and cloth, traveling from Persian gardens to colonial battlefields to civilian wardrobes. A word meaning earth became the color of empires, then the color of casual Fridays. Every pair of khaki trousers carries the dust of the Raj. It means a dull brownish yellow color, cloth of this color, especially when used for military uniforms. He traded his khakis for a suit, leaving the army and its dust-colored memories behind. Use khaki for that particular brownish tan of military uniforms and casual trousers. The word carries colonial echoes and the practicality of camouflage. Word 9. Sienna. From the Italian terra di Sienna, meaning earth of Sienna. The pigment was mined near the Tuscan city-state of Sienna, in clay deposits on Monte Amiata, that the Romans had worked centuries earlier under the name terra rossa. When heated, the yellow-brown raw sienna transforms into the reddish burnt sienna, one of the most versatile colors on the painter's palette. A hillside in Tuscany gave its name to shades that appear in cave paintings 30,000 years old and in kindergarten crayon boxes today. It means an earthy pigment containing iron and manganese oxides, yellowish-brown, When raw or reddish brown, when roasted the artist layered burnt sienna over raw sienna to capture the way late afternoon light warmed the old brick walls. Use sienna for earth tones that speak of Mediterranean landscapes, old masters, and the warmth of terracotta. It places color in geography and history. Word 10. Livid. From the Latin lividus, meaning bluish or lead-colored. From liver, meaning to be bluish, a word related to the Slavic terms for plum. The original meaning described the blue-black color of bruised flesh, the skin discolored by pooled blood beneath the surface. By extension, it came to describe faces pale with illness or cold. Then somehow, perhaps because enraged faces can drain of color before flushing red, livid came to mean furiously angry. A color of injury became a color of rage, and we still describe someone as livid with fury. It means furiously angry, of a bluish leaden color, as bruised flesh. Ashen or pallid, when she discovered the missing documents, her face went livid, and everyone in the office found urgent business elsewhere. Use livid for extreme anger that shows in the face, or for the unsettling blue-gary of bruises and corpses. The word bridges the physical and emotional, making rage visible. Thank you for spending this time with Wordiphile. May your vocabulary never be colorless, and may you always find the perfect shade for what you wish to say.